How far would you go to make your dreams of a family possible? It's a question one Washington couple faced after they struggled for years.
Tonight we continue our in-depth look at infertility, the people affected by it, and the amazing science used to create life right here in central Illinois.
This one here may be small, but she is very strong.
Life is twice as busy for Rachel and Jason Trevelyan, and twice as wonderful. In July, they welcomed twin daughters Clarissa and Elizabeth. It was a moment they weren't sure would ever happen.
It's quite a journey to get the girls here, that is for sure. And we would do it all over again.
That journey started when Rachel and Jason tried to conceive on their own for almost 2 years. Then they were hit with unexpected news.
It is an awful feeling.
Jason was diagnosed with male infertility. It affects about 40% of couples who face difficulties when trying to get pregnant.
A lot of people would say, oh, maybe you guys will get pregnant on your own. You know, once I would explain to them, and they'd say, oh, you know, maybe if you just took the stress out of your life, and it's you know, so much more than that. It's medical.
When they were ready to reach out for help, they were hit with a setback. Their insurance wouldn't cover in vitro fertilization, a form of treatment that averages $10,000.
Yeah, it was hard, and the scenarios were thought out in case that there was no possibility of having children, that we'd still stay married, hopefully, and you know, that was hard to deal with itself.
But Jason found a new job and a new insurance plan that would help the Trevelyans move forward. That led them to the Scheer Institute for Reproductive Medicine and the decision to pursue in vitro. Dr. Jeffrey Scheer started one of the first private IVF programs in 1983.
Today there are about 400 programs. When we started, there were only 3 others in the country and probably about 15 in the world.
Now, over the last few years, in vitro has gotten a bad rap, associated with celebrity extremes like Kate Goslin or Octomom, women who undergo treatment and wind up pregnant with multiples.
Doctors want to put more in to get a better chance of success, and they find a very receptive patient who doesn't really understand or hasn't been fully enlightened about the risks.
Doctors with the Scheer Institute say they're extremely cautious when it comes to IVF and work hard to make sure their patients make the right choice.
By the time they get to my office, the patients are often desperate. And the very first thing that I have to do is, in a sense, slow them down in order to allow them to completely understand the decisions that they're making.
Dr. Scheer and Dr. Horowitz agree IVF can make miracles for everyday people and is becoming more popular.
20 years ago, when we were doing this very frequently, it was a very private thing.
For Jason and Rachel, IVF was the answer, but it still wasn't easy.
To go through all that and still not know if it's going to be a success or if it's going to be a failure is very emotional.
But after years of heartache, they received the shock of their lives.
You have 2 babies, 2 sacs, 2 heartbeats.
And the Trevelyans decided to share their story with us, hoping to help other couples who are losing hope.
Infertility is so hush, it seems. You know, so many people don't want to talk about it. It's such a hard, emotional journey to go through.
But after bringing Clarissa and Elizabeth into the world, Rachel and Jason say they'd do it all over again.
I feel blessed every day I wake up. No matter how sleep deprived I am, I just can't imagine life without them. I never knew what it was like to be a mother until they were in my arms.
And doctors agree IVF isn't the right choice for everyone. Join us tomorrow night at 10 as we introduce you to a couple who became parents without ever giving birth.